We start with today's game at Tannadice. Could Mixu Patalainen get his Dundee United reign off to a flyer against Hearts? Liam McLeod has the answer.
Mixu Patalainen's first Dundee United side sees captain Dillon shift to left back with John Souttar on the right. Mark Durnan returns to the side beside former Jambo McGowan. Hearts are without the suspended Callum Patterson. United Scottish Cup winners Boabin and Swanson start for the Jambos, and another in Morgaro Gomez is among the subs. Neither of these sides have won a game in the league since August. A barren run as Sam Nicholson comes forward. It was tricky and he's won a penalty. It's Spittle's challenge. Well, just around the quarter of an hour mark. Hearts do look the better of the two. And Nicholson has handed Juanma the chance to put the Jambos in front here. Juanma has 5 goals already this season. And he converts Hearts' 8th penalty kick of the campaign. And he's up to 6. They started the season off in blistering fashion, winning the first 5 out of 5. It's 5 without a win since then. But Juanma has given Hearts a chance to get back to winning ways. Well, it looks as though Cool is going to take this one. Dinked in. A little incident there between Ryan McGowan and Juanma. Well away from the action. And McGowan might have a case there. Oh, So's got it. Osman So away from Durnan. Down goes So. That's Swanson's effort. Played most of the Scottish Cup final. Danny Swanson for Dundee United in 2010. Real star for the club under Peter Houston. It's Swanson. It's tipped over by Zwick. Well, a second Hearts goal might even finish this match. Dundee United sitting bottom of the table. It's in from Souttar. Away it goes by McGee. Here's Fraser. United see more of the ball as the first half has gone on. Alexander's missed it. Rankin. It just wouldn't fall. Alexander not convincing. But he gets away with it. And Hearts retain their lead. Swanson. Here's So. Swanson. That's Juanma. Well, you've got to do so much with your neck muscles when the cross comes in like that. It was floated in by Swanson. Just the one win all season for Dundee United, and they are in serious trouble here with Osman So. Back to Juanma, still alive. Zwick just nicks in ahead of Nicholson. Well, Dundee United, architects of their own downfall almost there. That one win for the Tangerines came at Fir Park. That's a good shot in the turn by Billy Mackay, who's been operating on the periphery of this match. Dundee United will lean heavily on Billy Mackay as the season goes on. Mixu Patalainen knew his way to goal in Tangerine here. Poor ball, and the United supporters getting frustrated. A challenge by Spittle, who lost the ball in the first instance on So. Sore one for So, and Spittle has been booked for that. Connolly, the sub, leaving it for Spittle, who loses out. It's Nicholson. That was cynical from Spittle, and he's going to go here. It's a second yellow. Dundee United down to 10, and their chances of salvaging something out of this match who might be about to disappear up the Tannadice tunnel with Blair Spittle.
Obviously, to lose a goal in the wide area, and we can always debate, was that a penalty or was it not? But disappointed with the result. But I was happy with the way the players tried and how committed they were.
I thought we started the game well. We got the goal. We should have built on it, but we didn't. You know, we kind of went in a shell a wee bit. Didn't pass the ball. We didn't take it as well as we should. And I don't know if that comes from maybe, you know, it's the first one since end of August, I think. You know, so there's a wee bit of pressure on the boys on that side. So now we've got that out of the way. Hopefully we can play Ross County at home next week and have a bit more confidence when we take the lead.
A good 3 points for Hearts. They're back up to third place. A scrappy game, truth be told. Michael, you were there. How big a job do you feel Mixu Patalainen has on his hands with Dundee United?
Well, I mean, I think there's no doubt that there's a lot of good, young, talented players at Dundee United, but I think what they're lacking is a few horrible players, say, in terms of guys that are going to know how to get a horrible performance but get a result.
Sure.
And that's what they need at the moment. You know, there are 4 points adrift at the bottom of the table. Everybody knows Mixu wants to play good football, but sometimes you just need to get a result rather than a performance to get your season going. And I think the trouble is that they don't have a lot of players that is a natural instinct for them.
You saw the game, Pat.
Yeah.
There seemed to be a bit of a lack of belief from the Dundee United players. Is that fair?
Well, when you're down the bottom, you do lack confidence. But a new manager coming in, you'll get a lift you would expect from that. But
did you see enough of a lift today?
Probably not. But I think you're dying. You're just desperate for a result. I think Michael's right. We know how Mixu wants to play the game, but he's going to be caught now. Does he want to get his philosophy in, trying to build a game from the back, which he normally does, or does he just go and get a result somehow? And that means then that you've got to defend well. You may have to put the ball forward into areas and get up the pitch and get away from your goal for a while, rather than just try to build a game. So he's caught between those two things. Early days.
Mixu opted for a diamond formation midfield, Michael. Was it the wrong choice?
Well, I don't think so much it was a wrong choice. It started not too badly. You know, you see here Suter out in the wide area, and it was the fullbacks that were giving them the width. But I think where the decision was wrong in the end was that later on in the game, you see the space in the wide areas there. Hearts ended up, they were struggling physically. They had a lot of players down with cramp, and the two fullbacks were two young guys. And McGee, one of them, who was really struggling, I was expecting them to get wide players out and go one-on-one in the wide areas. He put Aidan Connolly on, but he didn't go out in the wide area. You know, and I think there's a bit from the manager, he's got to recognise that, but also for the players, they've got to recognise during the game what's needed. And I think that, you know, the problem for Dundee United today was that they kept everything really narrow and they didn't use the wide areas enough.
Yeah, worrying times for Dundee United. Let's talk Hearts. They did get the win today. This week, strange one, Michael. Robbie Neilson having to deny he felt undermined by Craig Levein as director of football, suggesting that he might have been coming into the dressing room. You're close to the Hearts scene. How does that whole relationship work? And it must be quite a delicate thing.
Well, I think that it's actually surprising that it's, you know, taken this long for that whole story to come out, because obviously Craig Levein's a big character. He's been a manager himself. When you're winning games, those things don't, you know, raise their head. I think the difficulty now is that Craig Levein's got to realise that, I don't know if he's been in the changing room or not. If he has, it puts Robbie Neilson in a very, very difficult position, because as a player, if you've seen somebody else coming into the changing room and saying what needs to happen, that's not very good. No, but I'm sure, you know, Robbie he's clever enough to know how to handle these situations, but Craig Levein's got to realise as well, he's got to give him his space.
But there is a place for a general manager in the game. We see it in European teams all the time. It's more an administrative role, looking after the players' contracts, making sure that a manager who sees the players, wants that player, then he goes and finds them and he works between the board and so on. But surely you don't come into the dressing room and undermine the manager. Once that happens, Michael's right, then the manager's under pressure when things aren't going well.
Still a good win for Hearts today.